Dream 3-car garage.
4th gen Viper ACR, 2nd gen Ford Lightning. For some reason, Lincoln Continental is coming out.
Most underrated car of all time.
Mazda CX-5.
Most overrated car of all time.
Tesla Model S. I'll change it to Model 3.
Best driving song when you're alone in a car.
I Ran by Flock of Seagulls.
What's the worst car you've ever driven?
Yugo.
Car mod you secretly love, but people roast.
Underglow.
Favorite car, movie, or TV show?
Vanishing Point. He goes to this ranch where this naked girl rides up on a motorcycle and stuff.
Welcome to the Full Throttle Podcast, where we talk cars, chaos, and questionable life choices made at 100 miles an hour. I'm your host, Mickey Andrade, professional wrench spinner, serial Skyline car project addict, and a guy who somehow made a career out of bad decisions. From botch builds to track day drama, we're diving in. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because today's guest is the voice of chaos, comedy, and car culture all rolled into one. You know him from the wild skits, the deep dives, and the absolute mayhem that is Donut Media. He's a guy who can break down the history of a rotary engine while making you laugh so hard you'll spill your energy drink all over your project car's ripped seats. From the humble beginnings, wrenching and dreaming, to becoming one of the faces of the internet's biggest automotive crew, this dude helped turn Donut into the punk rock band of car media, loud, fast, a little messy, but impossible not to love. Please welcome to the show, the one and only Nolan Sykes.
Thank you very much. Wow, what an intro. Thanks for having me here.
I'm glad you like it. Hey, no problem, dude. This is a long time in the making.
Yes.
And as I told you when you walked in the front door, you are our first guest, of which I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm meeting for the first time today.
Yeah, we met 20 minutes ago.
So that's pretty rad. I'm
Yeah.
excited about this because every other guest I've sort of had decades of history with, so it's easy to sort of dive in. So this is going to be a really fun one because I get to really ask you the questions that I want to know.
I'm very excited to be here, and I don't know. I'm also very excited to tell you my story a little bit.
Cool.
I'm kind of nervous, honestly.
Dude, you're a podcast pro. You can't be nervous. You run 2 podcasts.
I know. Well, usually I'm on the other side of the table, asking the questions. So, yeah, this is kind of new for me, actually. So
I totally get it. And if you want to ask me any questions, feel free.
Sure. Okay.
Being that we're new to one another,
Yeah.
it's only natural, I think.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So let's just get started in the beginning. What are your roots in cars?
Sure.
Where did your first automotive memory start, and what got you into cars?
Sure. Yeah. So I grew up in Central California on the Central Coast, Atascadero, California.
Hey,
there,
all right.
Slow County. Very proud of that. But car-wise, I think as a kid, just playing with a lot of Legos and Hot Wheels and those Maisto models that were on those weird black platform things.
Oh yeah.
I think that kind of sparked the early interest. And then, my dad has always been into cars. Him and his cousins grew up in Long Beach, going to Lions Drag Strip, working on their project cars and stuff like that. And when I was 10 years old, my dad, he bought a junior dragster. So, which is a little 14-foot long, rail style dragster powered by 1-cylinder, Briggs and Stratton style motor.
No way.
Yeah. So once we started racing, that's when the hook was really set,
So he bought that and stuck you in it.
Yeah.
Here you go, son.
Yeah, basically.
Go drive really fast.
Yeah. So juniors, they race on 8th mile drag strips. So I spent, the rest of my childhood going out from Atascadero to Bakersfield to Famoso Raceway.
No way.
Out there. Yeah. So really grew up at Famoso and also Inyo Kern, if you remember anyone remembers that one.
Is that Kern County Raceway?
Inyo Kern County, it's up in the high desert. It was an old airstrip.
Yep.
I think it got shut down. And then LACR, also another track we went to out in Palmdale. That's also shut down, RIP.
Man, we're losing all our tracks in California, man.
I know. Yeah, with Irwindale, too, most recently. That was really sad. And
Auto Club Speedway.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yes. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Auto Club's another sad one. I never got to drive on the road course there. I would always, me and my buddies in college would drive out for the autocross that they had on the infield parking lots.
Yeah.
And that's,
they had so many massive parking lots there. They had a go-kart track out there. And all the
RC car track, too.
Yeah,
so it's
NASA
sad.
and SCCA used to race out in the parking lots. I ran the Roval there a couple times, which was super fun.
Yeah.
I'm sad that you didn't get a chance to experience that.
it's a bummer because I've heard some people say that the infield course, the Roval, kind of wasn't the best track in the world. But still, like something about going into that first corner, turn one at like 130 against the wall there, like that seems really fun.
That was honestly the most exhilarating part of it. But getting to drive on the big oval was pretty cool, even if it's just a portion of it.
Yeah. So
man, drag racing. Yeah. I have a little bit of experience with junior dragsters. I've seen them. My brother-in-law actually bought one for his daughter, but it wasn't a long-lasting thing. She wasn't that into it, unfortunately. And they don't go terribly fast, right?
No,
because you're a child.
So when I first got into it, the 8 to 12-year-old division or whatever the thing was, the top speed of those cars was like 55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But as you get older, like when you're 18, the top class, the kind of index for that class is 790. But a lot of those cars can go faster. So like, there's one time we're up at Denver, another track that's now gone, Bandimere Speedway.
Okay.
I just kept my foot in it after the finish line through the quarter mile, and I just wanted to see on the time slip what it'd be. And I mean, it hit like 100 at the quarter, which is my dad still talks about. He's like, "You kept your foot in it." Yeah, but like,
did you get in trouble for that?
No, probably if I did it another time, the stewards probably would have been like, "Okay, what are we doing here?"
Yeah.
But no, so
you just played it off as confusion.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. I was just curious, or something stuck. But yeah, those motors make like, I want to say around 30 horsepower, 30-something horsepower. The cylinder bore is like 4.5 inches. They have like huge pistons.
Dang.
And they run methanol. So, I mean,
Man, that's cool for a kid to get to experience that.
Definitely. And, as a kid, you kind of just like, well, this is my normal life. But like looking back on it, you're like, oh, I was really lucky to be able to do that. For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So how does that not lead you down the path of becoming like a full-on drag racer?
Well, let's see. In college, when I was going to community college, we bought a door car from one of our neighbors. He had this old Trans Am. I think it was a 70. I can never remember what the year was. It was the Smoking the Bandit car.
Oh, okay.
It was a Firebird, not a Trans Am. So still looked like it.
Basically, same thing, right?
Yeah. So it's just a Firebird with like a small block Chevy in it, and it ran in the mid 12s at the quarter. But we just wanted to get out to the track and get reps and whatever, and try to have fun. Again, the competition out at Famoso was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah. I forget what her name was. There's this woman who drove a Datsun that was powered by some big block.
Okay. Dang.
Yeah. Like she was super good. But yeah, it was just a good time to go out there. Try to get your reaction times dialed in. Dang, you were not lying about the planes around here. Yeah.
Yeah. As I mentioned previously, the Miramar Air Force Base is up the street where they film Top Gun, and they're constantly training. So we've got helicopters, F-35s, which are really rad to see flying low over the building. Yeah. But we hear those all day long.
So, we kept doing the door car through college, and at the same time, we got involved with a nostalgia funny car team. So very similar funny car design, at least chassis-wise, to the ones you see at NHRA competitions, except the engines are a little different. Our class is only running one distributor. The current cars, they run two of them to ignite all that nitro. So yeah, I started working as a mechanic on that team. Doing like the bottom end. So after a run, we'd come in, get the car on air jacks. Everybody rush to get under the car or around the car, taking the motor apart. I'd be the guy that get under there, drain the oil, take the oil pan off, and help the top end guys. Like I'd be pushing the pistons out from the bottom, and just we'd get the car turned around for the next run. That was a lot.
Typically,
of fun.
How much time do you have in the pits to do something like that?
About an hour and a half or 2 hours. Oh. So, but as the deeper you get in an event, the less and less time you have.
Sure, because the bracket's smaller.
Yeah. And what's really cool is like those engines, for the most part, are designed to be taken apart and put back together super fast.
Yep.
And that it's just a lot of fun to like get in the rhythm and go through all your steps, and you guys are just all moving in unison.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's something I've never gotten to experience as working in the pits. Like I've always worked for drift teams and stuff like that, which also you have to be quick, but it's always a different problem. You don't have this like typical routine. It's always something different.
Yeah,
you have 5 minutes to get it done type of thing.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So we did get to see John Force a few years ago when we were working with Peak Performance, and they're a big partner of his. So they had us come out to the In-N-Out. Pomona.
The Winter Nationals maybe, or
one of those.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
but
cool.
That's a big budget race.
Yeah.
And those teams, man, like you said, well-oiled machines.
Oh, yeah.
They have a guy like you, like roll under the car. His job is this, and this,
Yep.
and the other guy's on top taking the blower off and changing the blower internals. And
the guys I do not envy are the clutch guys, because I mean that clutch is like extremely hot. They have to wear like fireproof gloves basically to take that thing apart.
They think they're about to stick their arms in a furnace when they grab the thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to witness that. So it's cool that you grew up actually doing that, even at an amateur levels.
It was a lot
admirable.
Of fun. Yeah, and we were our team. Like, we didn't really have a huge budget compared to some of the other ones. Some of those guys.
Wait, so this wasn't amateur. This was actually.
Well, I would call it semi-pro. Like, we had.
Okay.
There'd be guys you'd see like pro drivers come in and drive for some of these teams.
Damn.
And some of these teams, as is pretty typical for like any sort of level of racing, they got the huge haulers and like
the big budget teams.
They have a spare motor in the trailer, one or two, or spare set of heads, couple spare set of heads. We didn't have that. We had our we had maybe one extra set of pistons and connecting rods and all that.
Yeah.
But it was just a very like grassroots level, probably like the smallest budget you could have to compete in that sort of racing. So it was really fun when we would beat teams that had huge budgets and had the resources to just tune their cars extremely
for sure
high and then just blow something and replace it immediately. We had to be more conservative with the tuning and just hope it didn't break.
I think it's more admirable to actually win coming from a team like that, because you have to be more resourceful.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think one of my mentors growing up used to tell me, you can't beat cubic dollars.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's pretty true.
Especially in drag racing too. Yeah.
Yeah. The more money, the better you're going to be at the end of the day. And the more spares you have, the more resources you have, the more guys you have.
Yeah.
It's just
it's
just inevitable. But that experience in and of itself is super awesome.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely.
I wish I could have done that at least for a season.
I think about it sometimes. I'm just like, I mean, this is just normal stuff. And then I, look back. I'm just like, no, man, like that was really cool and fortunate that you got to do that. Yeah.
So did you always see yourself working in automotive? It sounds like you started with little toy cars and you went into junior dragsters, then into semi-pro drag racing. I feel like you were kind of born for this shit.
I mean, it feels like it sometimes. But when I was younger, like in high school, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. I knew that I loved cars and was like, okay, if I have like a race car, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
But career-wise, I wasn't really exactly sure what my passion was, or like what I wanted to do, and that problem kind of persisted through my earlier years in college. My first school I went over to Flagstaff to Northern Arizona University and ended up flunking out there just because I was studying communications, which in itself is kind of like a major that you choose when you're like, I don't know. And
I did the same thing.
Okay, yeah. So I came back home after that, went to community college and refocused. I was like, okay, what do I want to do? And fortunately, my college there, Cuesta, they had like a broadcasting.
That's cool.
Program, which is really cool. So I started doing like the radio station there and doing the broadcast communications program. They had like a little TV studio on campus, which was really cool. And started doing that. And was like, okay, I think I want to do TV or entertainment. I was actually focusing a lot on sound since I was doing the radio thing. I was learning. I took a couple classes at the recording. We had like a recording studio on campus too.
No way.
Looking back, really cool school.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, and
I went to a full-on D1 university that had all that stuff too. But man, for a junior college, it's a junior college.
Yeah,
right?
Junior college. It was
to have all that at your fingertips is amazing.
Great.
Sounds like you really leaned into it.
Yeah, I was, like I said, focusing on sound mostly. I was learning how to like place microphones on a TV set and in like a music studio, and I was like, okay, like maybe I'll get into radio or something like that. And at the time, I was also very into podcasts, listening to podcasts too. So I was like, okay, maybe I could do this at some point.
Wait, how old are you?
32.
Oh, you're young. Okay, that makes sense because podcasts weren't a thing when I was that age. So interesting, man. That is really cool, and I'm sitting here listening to you, and our lives have a lot of parallel. It's freaking crazy.
Where'd you go to?
I went to school in Ohio at a university called Akron, the University of Akron. It's a lot of people know of it because of LeBron James. That's where he was born and went to school.
Okay.
He didn't go to the University of Akron, but his high school was next door, basically.
Gotcha.
So they played all their games because he was so popular at that time. He'd already been on the cover of Sports Illustrated in high school.
Yeah.
And that's when I was in college.
Wow.
So they were playing their high school games in our collegiate
That's wild.
stadium because of how many people he drew.
Wow.
Anyway, neither here nor there, but we also had a similar setup. Now, I never took to it. I was an athlete in college, and I just knew we had it because I used to listen to our radio station, and a lot of my other students that I knew were on the radio station, which was pretty cool to hear their voices and listen to that locally. But I also went to school for communications and ended up with a business degree and minor in marketing.
Gotcha. Are you from Ohio?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from a suburb of Akron.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it made sense for me to stay there.
What'd you play in college?
I was actually an ice hockey player my whole life.
Wow.
But I actually, because I played so much growing up as a kid year round, I actually started training in distance running to stay in shape for hockey.
Okay.
And then I ended up being halfway decent at it. So I ended up getting a scholarship to Akron to be a runner.
That's awesome.
So I hung up my hockey skates, spent the next 5 years running, and I immediately hung up my track shoes and went back to hockey.
Wow. Okay.
And I still play to this day.
Nice.
But it was a fun time, and I would relive my college years over and over again if I could. Yeah. But I think I would have went to college to be a hockey player instead, because I actually enjoy it a lot more. But this isn't about me. Let's ask you some more questions.
Sorry. Yeah.
What was your first car? Because we have a common theme with the first 10 podcasts I've done. So I want to hear yours.
It wasn't a Honda.
You've listened.
Yeah. No, the first, I answered this question in kind of like a not sneaky way. I don't know. My first car I bought is not the first car that I drove around.
Oh, okay.
I bought a 1962 Dodge Dart, which we still have, me and my dad.
No way.
We have it in our garage. He's been chipping away at it. He's retired now, so he's really just that's what he does. Is
long-term project.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I mean, I bought that in oh my God, probably 2007 or something. Oh, it's a long time ago now.
18 years, man.
Yeah. Bought that. But the first car that I really was driving around was my grandpa gave me a 1986 Taurus.
Ford Taurus.
Ford Taurus with a 5-speed. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I learned to
That's
drive.
a rare bird. 5-speed?
It actually is. I, for some reason, was curious about the production numbers of Tauruses or whatever. I was looking into doing some other project on Donut.
Yeah.
And I looked into it, and the trim that I had was called the MT5. It was a two-tone car.
Manual transmission, 5-speed.
And so the inside was
two-tone?
Yeah, it was
what colors?
It was sky blue on top and then a navy blue on bottom.
Okay.
And they only made 6. This is so stupid, but
I love
made
this shit.
600 of them. Yeah,
600.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, we had a rare car for a while, and I had no idea. And
imagine how many of them are left today.
Not many. Not many.
6.
Yeah, probably. So I wish, I don't know. Not that I had held on to it. It wasn't a cool car or anything like that, but it was my first car, and I ended up giving it to one of my best friends who lived down the street from me because he needed a car. I was going off to college, off to Flagstaff, and was like, hey, you can just have my car.
Just take this.
They ended up driving it for probably. He drove it for the rest of high school, and then his dad drove it for another 5 years. And everything that could have broken on that car except for the drivetrain, broke. The door handles had snapped off, the seats stopped being adjustable, all this other stuff. But
that was a bad era for cars because they were still trying to kind of figure out the plastics.
Yes, yeah.
And so the door handles were shit. The bumpers would deform. They sat out in the sun. That was just such a bad era for cars.
Yeah,
90s. The plastics were not there yet. Now they've got it figured out.
Definitely.
Well, I think Lexus or Toyota had a really bad problem this year with the new Land Cruiser or whatever. Ooh. The mirrors were melting out in the sun. Did you see that?
No.
Literally the side mirrors that people would come, the cars would sit in the sun, they'd go in shopping or whatever, and they'd come out and their mirror is just drooping.
That's not good. Yeah, with the failing piston rings on that new turbo motor and man,
they've had
a great time.
A rough go, and then you got poor Nissan.
Yeah,
struggling financially.
Yeah, that's sad to see. It's tough.
Yeah.
Especially I think the new Z is really cool. I love it.
Have you driven one?
Yeah. So I got to go to like the press, like the release, or like the first press event they did in Vegas. So part of that was like driving out from Vegas to Lake Mead on some cool like twisty highways, and like do you know Sean Lee?
Yes.
Okay, I was with Sean Lee, and he and I were like going through this canyon, and we're just like we were going
carving it up
pretty fast, and like we get to the lake, and we're like, dude, this thing is pretty sweet, dude.
He has one, right?
I think he does. Yeah, pretty sure. And then Nissan, they lent us a Nismo a year ago at least, and me and Justin, one of the other hosts on Donut, we took it out to Malibu to drive up Stunt Road back there, and
is that the real curvy one?
it's like a super curvy one.
Was that the one they used in Tokyo Drift?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. They might have, maybe.
I'm not sure. It might have been Mulholland.
There's also the Snake, yeah. They might have done it there. But anyway, we were driving, even in the automatic in that car, like that thing is super fun to drive.
By automatic, it's paddle
shift, yeah. And I think they're bringing a manual to the Nismo pretty soon. I think I read that.
I read that too. Yeah, that's exciting, actually.
Yeah, that is.
Because that will be a really fun car.
It will be. And, I think I had more fun in the Nismo than I did in the Supra. Like the Supra is a really
Mark V.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Supra is a really well-refined car and also faster in every respect than the Nismo. But
I think it's more tunable too.
Probably, yeah. But I just think like the lack of refinement almost in the Z makes it more fun because like
it's endearing. Huh?
Yeah, you like it's not glued to the road as much like the Supra, which I think on roads, I mean, it makes it feel like you're going a lot faster.
Yeah.
At the track, you'd probably be jealous of your buddy with the Supra, but yeah.
It's funny. I have the same feeling and thoughts because we've done both here. And I guess it was 2 SEMAs ago, we did a black Z that we bought from another influencer who had modded it.
Okay.
Basic mods, just basically, I think exhaust, blow-off valves, maybe lowering springs. It was very basic, but they got it from Nissan directly, did their bits with it, and then sold it to us.
Okay.
We couldn't get a car. We couldn't find one, so we bought it from them, got it here. We basically put it back to stock because of carb. And we Liberty Walk wide bodied it.
Okay.
Sweet wheels.
I think I saw that car.
It was all blacked out with bronze wheels. It was a beautiful SEMA car. We ended up giving it away. But the one thing, it was tuned when we got it.
Okay.
So we, gave it a couple goes up and down the road. I think, I don't know about the other guys. I can't speak for them, but I was fairly impressed with the performance of the car. But it lacked when you compared it to the Supra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. It's not as fast. But with the tune, it was pretty spicy.
Yeah. I think if I was at the track, I'd probably want the Supra, but day to day, I also just really love how the Z looks.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So hopefully Nissan can get
the financials together.
Get it back together.
Yeah, I mean, they've got quite a few econo boxes on the road, but I will say they're killing it with the sports cars and the truck platform. Now, the mid-size truck platform, I know the full-size is it the Titan has gone away or is going away?
I think so.
End of this year, maybe.
Yeah.
I recently bought a 25 Frontier, and we did a little Nismo package on it here, and it's fantastic.
I like the Frontier as well. Yeah, we were doing like a full disclosure. We filmed an ad. They sponsored the channel.
Sick.
So we got to take Frontier out to California City. It's totally like abandoned, like desert kind of area. But it was kind of rainy that day too, so the ground was kind of like peanut butter almost. But man, just like sliding that thing.
Was it fun?
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Admittedly, I'm weak. I haven't even put my truck in 4-wheel drive once.
That's the one that's outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You haven't taken that thing off road yet?
I haven't. It's my daily driver. We literally just built it on the channel a couple months ago, and like I'm pretty methodical about like I take it to the wash every couple days. I wipe out the wheel wells.
Nice.
Like it looks like a brand new truck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, when I've already hit almost 13,000 miles. I've only had it since December.
Wow.
So I'm like racking up miles on this thing. And I literally made a post on Instagram and not provoked by Nissan in any way, shape, or form because I love Nissans. But I made a post of how great the truck has been because I had quite a few people in the automotive community that I'm friends with try to talk me out of buying that truck. No, you should get a Tacoma. Oh, you should get a Ranger. Oh, wait for the Ranger Raptor. Yeah. And I didn't. I just pulled the triggers. I got a bunch of Nissans in my shop, my personal shop, and I wanted something I could tow those on an open trailer. The track, the thing tows 7,000 pounds. It's perfect.
Does it really?
Yeah. In the Pro 4X
Whoa.
trim, it'll tow. I think it's 7,200 pounds.
That's crazy. I bought last year. I bought a single cab Ram with the Hemi.
Yep.
And because same situation, I want to tow like an open trailer.
Yeah.
And I think the tow on that is like 9,000, 10,000 pounds,
Yeah,
which is
that's
pretty good
great.
headroom. But
Great. Yeah.
also with the single cab, it's like short. And I wanted to be able to park in LA.
Yep.
Which has been great. But
Which is why I went with a midsize truck.
I had no idea that the Frontier could do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so I just went in head first. Like, you know what? The heck with it. They just updated all the interior stuff. Like, the touchscreen's massive. And for me, that's really important. I like to have my map up or Spotify, whatever, listen to podcasts and things like that. And the truck's been great.
Yeah.
It has not skipped a beat. Now, we did put Nismo suspension and exhaust and a bunch of stuff on the truck. So it's not standard, but it is still, I mean, the meat and potatoes are still there.
Yeah.
So I'm over the moon with this truck. And the only regret I have is putting so many miles on it because I'm just killing the value of it. But at the end of the day, I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. So
yeah, the Tacoma, like that, those are expensive for what they are. I mean, now you get the new one that has the hybrid system and turbo and all that, but still, expensive truck. The Ranger, I have driven one.
Did you drive the Raptor?
I haven't
yet?
driven the Raptor. I've heard it's really fun though. It's almost feels like a rally car is how I've been.
Really?
What I've heard. Yeah.
All right, I have to experience this.
I want to drive one really bad, but yeah, I think like there's something to be said about getting the third option, the one that people don't get.
Yeah.
Also, the thing looks pretty sweet.
It looks so cool, styling wise, I think. But I spoke to a couple people that are mainly off-road guys. Richard from MagnaFlow being one of them. He's the marketing guy over there. He's been around the scene for 30 years, I think. But he's a big Tacoma guy. In fact, we got a Tacoma for the channel because of him. And I told him I got the truck, and he kind of, it doesn't have a locking diff and all this stuff, and the sway bars can't be electronically disconnected, and I don't care because I bought it to tow.
Right.
And I only bought a Pro 4X because of the extra towing capacity. So I'm not an off-road guy.
Right.
But I want it to look cool.
Yeah.
I want it to have that mean stance and everything.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I put some of that stuff on it. But man, the reality is I didn't think this podcast was going to get on the road where we talked about mid-sized trucks.
Yeah.
But the Nissan Frontier Pro 4X is a great truck.
All right.
Let's get back on topic, dude. So Donut Media, man. Obviously, I'm well aware of the channel. You guys are behemoths in the automotive space on YouTube, and you guys have busted your asses to get it done.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how did you get involved with Donut? And obviously, there's a lot of stories that can be told, and we'll get into some more stuff. But tell me how you sort of got your foot in the door and how it's been going.
Yeah. So after completing the broadcasting program at Cuesta, I transferred down to CSU Northridge up in LA, up in the valley there, and was doing the TV production program there. And part of that was to graduate, you need to have an internship of some sort. And originally I was like, okay, like at this time in my kind of like last year of college there, it's like, okay, I have these TV skills, sort of, these production skills. I love cars. YouTube is like a thing. How can I like marry all these together and try to like get a job that, would make that happen? So first I looked at Motor Trend because they're down in El Segundo.
Yep.
And
you have a beautiful studio, by the way.
I've heard, and it's, again, kind of sad how that's been unfolding. We can get into that a little later. But so reached out to Motor Trend, didn't hear anything back from them. And then I think the only other people I reached out to was Donut. Like I was like, okay, here's this little small channel. I think they had like 50,000 subscribers at the time, which is pretty good.
That's very early.
And they were doing, they were doing like all the stuff with Turk and Forsberg.
Yeah.
I think at the time they were doing the build series on the GT4586, which was like the coolest car.
I'm gonna ask a question.
Yeah.
Was this when Jacob Agajanian and James Kirkham were still involved with Donut? Okay, so this is very, very early.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should talk to them. That'd be pretty interesting too.
I plan to. They're on my list.
Cool. Yeah.
At least James. Jacob's not really a forward-facing guy with the brand.
Right.
So we're talking about racing service. For those of you that don't know, now
yeah.
is what it's called. They departed Donut and started racing
They're
service.
over there in Mid-City, LA.
Yep. Also a very cool operation.
Yeah, their shop is
super cool.
Super sick, yeah. So I reach out there. I think there's only like 6 or 7 people working there at the time, Kirkham and Jacob being 2 of them.
So cool.
I just hit up like I don't even know. Just click the contact us link on Donut's website.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah. And the CEO at the time, Matt Levin, got back to me. He's like, hey, like we're we don't have like internship going on right now. We're pretty busy, but email us back in like a month. So like on my phone, I'm like
set
it to like the day, the hour. It's like, hey, email Donut again. And then all of a sudden I'm like in the conference room at Donut, or at the old office in Sawtell, West LA. And I'm having an interview with Jesse Wood, James Pumphrey, and Levon. And they're just like, so why do you want to work? I don't even remember, honestly, what the interview was.
You were probably on cloud nine and nervous as hell.
Yeah. I was
all at
super
the same
nervous. Time. Yeah. So yeah, then I came in and just started like coming in on Fridays, helping out in the office, doing whatever.
So you literally started as an intern?
Yeah.
Unpaid?
Unpaid. Yep.
Damn. Yeah, you're a gangster, dude. That's awesome. I mean, and that just goes to show. I got into automotive sort of the same way. This start for me was the same thing. I was literally I had gotten my foot in the door at a tire company, but after hours I was going down to the race shops and sweeping the floor for free just to learn how to wrench and
get in,
learn how to fabricate and things like that. So it's just a testament to don't be too proud. Like, go stick your neck out.
Sure.
You don't have to get paid in the beginning right away. Like,
I would.
If you really want something bad enough,
yeah,
put the time in.
If we were to do that again, or if we were to start up, we don't have an internship program right now, unfortunately. I would love to start one though, and I would like it to be like a paid position. Just
of course. I mean, ideally that's the route. Yeah. But again, if you're hungry,
definitely, I think,
and you can make it work.
Being persistent and being like on time, I think, is also really important because like. I can't remember who I was talking. Oh, I was talking to a shop owner in Vegas that we were doing some work at for a show, and he was saying, like he's talked to like he's had people that were interested in coming in being like a shop hand or whatever, like do 2 or 3 interviews, like they've met them in person, and then when the day comes to like come to the shop for whatever reason they bail on it, and it's like, okay, that's not.
That's a big red flag.
Yeah,
right
So, and then you never hear from him again. And I'm not here to complain about people's work ethics or anything like that. But, I think, you and I have a lot of parallels here.
Yeah.
I think there's just like a certain kind of person where it's like, if you have this like dream and vision of doing something, they're going to pursue whatever avenues they can to make that happen.
Yep.
And yeah, persistence is part of that.
It
and
is
like
100%.
Also just knowing that like a big thing for me, like in that last year of college where I'm on YouTube all the time, I'm watching all these car channels, I'm going like, okay, if they can do it, I feel like I can do it too. And just having that realization and believing it, I think is really important.
Yeah.
And that's how you'll get there and do that.
Yeah, and that background that you mentioned at Cuesta, that is way more important, I think, than anyone realizes, that you got comfortable in that setting around microphones and cameras and setups. And
like camera-wise, I wouldn't say I still don't really, I know the very basics, like the 101 level stuff, but like
same.
Just being there and I don't know, just being ready to learn as much as you can, I think is super important. And something that took me still to this day to get over is like, just shut up and listen rather than like trying to prove that you know everything. Yeah, because I'm definitely one of those guys that's like, oh, I'm gonna use this opportunity to show that I know something. And it's like that's not really useful right now.
Yeah.
Just listen and like take it in. So anyway, internship. I graduate school, and then I'm on as like a freelancer at Donut. Cutting in those early days. It was. On YouTube, it was a lot of the drifting stuff with Forsberg and Turk, and then eventually like the Falcon team, like Odie Buckcheese and Matt Field.
Yep.
That was kind of like our YouTube side of it. And on Facebook, what my job was for the rest of that year was like cutting together like little 1 minute like infographic news shorts that would go on Facebook. That was like super popular on Facebook at the time, was just like using stock footage, like finding a news story, writing a little blurb about what's going on, find clips and like whatever, and just put it together on Premiere, and then we upload it. And that's what I did like every day. And then later on, when Up to Speed came around, that was like a big moment. Like,
I loved that segment, dude, of the shows.
Yeah,
So cool.
the story behind that was so many twists and turns. I don't know all of it, but like for the most part, it was our CEO at the time, Matt Levin, was like, "Hey, we need let's start putting out like a regular series on YouTube." And James and Eddie put that together, or Eddie Esparza, now at Big Time. Eddie like shot and edited this whole the first episode, which I believe was on was that GTR or Supra? I think it was GTR. And then like his computer crashes, and like we have to go, and like this other editor did like this data kind of like recall on the laptop and everything
to
recover the file for it, and it's just like super stressful. We're trying to get this video out, and it's kind of worth it because at the end of the day, we uploaded it on Facebook. We weren't sure what to expect, and like in a day it gets like 1 million views or something like that.
I remember watching that one because I'm a big Skyline guy. So when that went up, I was like, oh, I gotta watch this. This is cool. And then you guys crushed it on the edit.
And then we're like, okay, I guess we're gonna do this every week now. And then that was the second part of my job, or that eventually turned into my job. Is like I was writing a ton of those episodes. Every week, James and I would sit down. It's like, okay, what car are we doing? What's cool about this car? And then I would go out and do a ton of research and just try to find the story. Like,
would you say that Up to Speed is what put Donut on the map?
I think absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was a moment, Tony Angelo came by the shop one time, and this was later. I had a few years after Up to Speed had started, when we hit 1 million subscribers. And it's like, you guys hit 1 million subs on YouTube, and you haven't even like worked on a car yet. What the hell? Which we were
oh my god, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
It was crazy. So yeah, I mean, Up to Speed definitely. It was like a new kind of take on car history, and it was just a lot of fun to shoot too. And just like, we had other writers on the show as well, but I would say I was doing a lot of the main, we get scripts from freelancers or other people in the building. I would go through. James and I would read through. Actually, it was really fun because all of us would get into the conference room, sit down and read the script together, and like try to punch it up with jokes and like, okay, that little thing we just mentioned is interesting. Can we go find more information on that, put that into the story? It was just so much fun. And what I loved to do with it is, like, I'm not a comedy writer or anything like that, obviously, but James, like a comedic force of nature. What I loved to do was like I would pepper in weird details into the script and try to lead him to like a joke, and it was just a lot of fun. And I think what added to the comedy of the show as well was like we'd be shooting that on a green screen in this hallway. We shared our first building with another company, and James would be screaming about like a 2JZ or whatever like that, and like people trying to work on like actual movies in their office are looking out being like,
what is this guy on?
What is this guy's deal? Yeah. But we'd set up the green screen. James would sit on the stool. I'd be off camera, and then we'd have creative director Jesse Wood and our current GM Colby, who edited a ton of those as well.
Okay.
Would be sitting there. Eddie would be sitting there, and it was like James had an audience and was just trying to make us laugh, and as a result, like the videos were just hilarious.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked, and I look back very fondly on Up to Speed and just that whole experience. It was so much fun. It was
That's cool.
Really good time. Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, the inevitable question, is coming. I want to ask this appropriately.
Sure.
So obviously you guys had a bunch of folks leave.
Yeah.
And for different reasons, I'm sure.
Yeah.
James departed. The boys went off and started Big Time. You kind of found yourself in a situation where it was very opportunistic. But now, looking back, I know your background. And I understand why you filled that role so easily and so well, and why you are eligible to be put into the role you're in currently. So it's very cool. And this was something I was hoping to learn today.
Sure.
And as you've been speaking to me, I've been putting the puzzle pieces together in my head.
Yeah.
But tell me, when someone from someone that you're so used to working with every day, and someone that's so integral in what you guys do leaves, it opens doors, but it also probably opens a lot of questions in your head. Where does that lead you?
Well, I'll say this, like that whole experience last year, 2024, really sucked.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
I'm sure, because those guys are so close to you. I mean,
Yeah, man.
in this building, we're the same way.
Yeah, it was for the first couple months, kind of felt like going through a breakup, you know?
Yeah,
and
I'm sure.
Not, you know, yeah, it was just rough. Going from working every day with the same people to now working with them still, sort in the case of Jerry and Job, working with them still, but now, you know, we're still friends.
Sure.
But you know, there was like a lot of like kind of weird energy around that, and also because, you know, when the big time announcement was made, like immediately there's like a bunch of narratives being spun online, and it's like, and we made the mistake of letting it ride a little bit. I think if I was to do that again, I would have thought about maybe not getting ahead of it, but addressing some of the things that people were bringing up, and instead of letting people make up their own kind of, you know, like you said, there's a lot of open doors and open questions.
Yeah.
Maybe some of those should have been answered.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was just like, I just think that'll just make it worse.
Well, with outlets like Reddit and all these other mediums that people can sort of go on and pose their own questions, and then people think, oh, I heard this.
Yes.
And then it becomes a thing because they put it in writing, they put it out there on the internet, somebody reads it, and all of a sudden it becomes gospel.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's a lot of times we see it here too. It's the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And man, you know, I finally got to meet Job at Monterey.
Oh, okay.
Which was cool.
Nice.
Very brief run-in, but I've never met him before either. I actually met James in person for the first time this weekend at the Gretty event.
Oh, wow.
Which
okay.
we have never met, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I think those guys will eventually be on here as well with me, and I'm going to ask them similar questions.
Sure.
So I'm not only putting you in the hot seat, but I think, you know, from an audience's standpoint, everybody watches all of these YouTube channels. They see these things that go on, and this is our lives that we're living every day.
Yeah.
And so we deal with it a lot differently than the people from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting. We haven't had anything like that happen here in this building, and we've been fortunate in that, even going through our private equity acquisition and tumultuous 3 years under that ownership, and now we're fortunate enough to have been repurchased by a couple of dudes that really give a shit.
That's really cool.
And are putting time and effort into growing this brand again, which is, we basically took a 3-year hiatus. So it's cool to be able to sit here and ask you those questions, and you can confidently answer them and give people the truth.
Yeah, like you said, it's your life that you're going through, but for the audience, it's just something that's happening.
It's a muse, yeah.
Yeah, it's an event. It's something to watch. It's something to speculate about, and you know, I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't do that about other things.
Sure.
Because like, who doesn't love juicy drama in a niche interest? A lot of fun.
Yeah.
But now,
for sure,
I certainly, when things are happening like that, you see someone going through a tough time online because of things that are out of their control. I look at it a lot differently and just don't participate in it, because it's like, I know what they're going through, you know, depending on what they're going through. But
sure.
I don't know. It's been a pretty heavy year just in terms of figuring out, okay, like what I'll lay it out. Like, what was really hard about it is that over the years leading up to the split, we'll just call it the split. Leading up to that, you know, like, we were a team, and like a lot of those guys, you know, or all those guys, you know, we worked so closely together every day.
It's like your family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, you start to equate your job, or at least in my case, big train.
Not big time, big train.
In my case, I was kind of like, because this journey I'd been on, getting to become part of Donut, and like, you know, we saw a lot of success, and like, it was just really cool. Like, I'm equating the success of this company with my own personal kind of, like, my own happiness, really.
Yeah, sure.
Right. And that's not healthy, as I'm learning. I actually started seeing a therapist earlier this year, not exclusively for this situation, but, you know, I have talked to my therapist about this.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I mean, it's very common in entertainment and in Los Angeles for people to equate, they're a brand with themselves when really those are two separate entities, especially in this case, we didn't own Donut even before the acquisition.
Yeah, sure.
Like we didn't own it.
Yeah.
So, but
But when you become the face of that brand, you feel a sense of ownership.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's hard to explain, but I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, you're totally right. And, you're reading comments. Even before all that, you're still like reading comments and you're like, there'll be 100 comments that are very positive and being like, this is a great video. Great job, Nolan. Like, you guys are awesome. But then there's that one that's like, I didn't really like it. And then you're like, why didn't that one person like it?
I feel that, man.
Yeah.
I see that.
It's tough. And it's like, I think especially today in this space where the audience can so easily reach out to you and let you know what they feel about it. Like,
open criticism is easy today.
It's easy. But if you're in that position where, you're on screen, you have to do two things. Obviously grow a thick skin like that. Not a problem. Like people, in the early days, the funniest ones were like, where's James? And it's like, James is in the next video in like 3 days. It's fine. Everybody's like, chill out. It's all good. We have a schedule now.
Yeah, the conspiracy theorist, James is gone.
Yeah. Or like, not even that. Like when Wheelhouse first started the news show I was doing, that was on Mondays, and then Up to Speed was on Thursdays. But when like those first couple Mondays, it was like, did James leave? Where's James? This guy's not James. And it's like, just wait 48 hours. And you'll get your it's all good, man.
You're going to see your James. So don't worry.
Like those kind of like lighter comments, like whatever. Like, you grow a thick skin, you get used to it, and you just kind of brush it off. But then, I don't know, there's like deeper ones where people get a bit more personal. Those are tougher. And it's taken me a long time. I think, let me preface this by saying, like, part of the reason I'm in this in the first place, I guess, is because, like, I don't know, I just like was a kid that wanted everybody to like, and like that.
For sure. I totally feel that.
I think that's a aspect of why people get into entertainment in the first place. And you just have to you have to learn and remind yourself and tell yourself every day, like, dude, not everybody's going to like what you're doing. And that's just natural. That's part of the deal. That's part of the contract, if you will. Like, hey, you wanted to get some notoriety in a space. You want to be on TV. You want to like be able to do all these cool things and get recognition and, stoke your ego a little bit. The other side of that is that not everybody's going to like you, and people are going to say stuff, and that's part of the deal. Yeah.
It's honestly, it's for me, the hardest part of the deal, because I didn't necessarily get into this for notoriety. I got into this because my business partners wanted a face for our YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
So I was sort of thrust into it. And I actually pushed back for many months. In fact, Evan started our YouTube channel because I was pushing back.
Right.
I finally just said, okay, let's do this. And the comment section can be very hurtful if you wear your heart on your sleeve the way it sounds like you and I do.
Totally.
I mean, I had someone go as far as to say they wished I had died.
Oh my God.
When I went through my cancer stuff last year.
It's terrible.
And that is hard to sleep on, man. Like, what did I ever do to this person to get that out of them?
Yeah, it's because, you and your life, you're only through the screen. And then, I don't know if this has been your experience, but it's been very also encouraging now whenever a Donut fan comes up and says, hey, I love your videos or whatever. Every single person I've ever met that's like been a Donut fan has been really cool. Yeah. Nobody said anything crazy.
And like, there's one or two of those negative things. It weighs a ton.
Yeah.
But there's so many more positives that I need to internalize and take more heavily because there is so much love out there and positivity. Yeah. But for whatever reason, the negativity is what you carry around.
It takes a lot of work and just reminding yourself to recognize the positive comments because, I mean, in the same way that someone is being so negative that they'll take time out of their day to write a comment, like, so are the positive people, you know? And it's like, that's so cool that, like, they would even take a second to, like, click a like button on a YouTube video. You gotta look at that, too. And it's like, oh, wow, like, people like it.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. And I don't know about you, but I try to I don't spend a bunch of time in the comment section, I'll be honest. But I do, like, when the video goes up, I'll go through and I'll skim through real quick, and I'll give those people that spent the time to write a sentence or 2 or 10 and give them some love, some feedback. Hey, appreciate you watching.
Totally.
Even if it's as simple as that, because if we don't do that, at some point they're going to stop commenting because they don't get a response.
Right.
Why would you comment at that point? They don't know if you're even seeing it. So it's the little things for me that I like to do. I don't know if you do that as well, but I think it goes a long way with our audience.
Totally. Yeah. In the earlier days, we would definitely spend more time in the comments. I think it's maybe right now we could do a better job of that for sure. I mean, on our Bonneville video that came out a couple of days ago, there was like a pretty in-depth comment about aerodynamics and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, like I got to respond to this person because they like thought something out, you know, it's like, okay.
But were you able to stop what you were doing and do that, or did you earmark it and come back and give them a proper response?
Right. I saw it earlier in the day and it's like, okay, when I get home, I'll flip open the laptop and do that. And
that's what I do as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to do it midday because you do want to give that person the courtesy.
Yeah.
Because they spent the time to actually ask you a purposeful question, something that they actually want to know.
We used to upload at like 6 a.m. Pacific time because that was 9 a.m. Eastern. But what we would all do, all the hosts would wake up at that time and like for the next hour, like respond to comments. Could probably get back to doing that. Maybe not at 6 a.m. Luckily, we upload a little later. But yeah, you're right. I think
we're typically doing 9 a.m.
Yeah,
which catches the East Coast guys on lunch, which is good.
That's great.
So now that Donut is essentially, it's bigger than just 2 people. Is it a true brand in your eyes? I mean, obviously, this thing has grown massively. You guys are obviously selling merch into Zoomies and things like that, which is a huge undertaking in and of itself. And when I go out to car events, I see Donut hats, I see Donut T-shirts. How has that affected you? And do you feel like it's its own freestanding brand now?
It's, I mean, I would hope so. But
I think it is, but
but my perception of it, like, I have to remind myself that we do get like placement in Zoomies and stuff like that.
It's crazy
that they're, like there's different sides of the company that like the merchandise that I'm not as involved in, just because I spent a lot of time, you know, working purely on the videos and doing stuff like this podcast and all that. Like, don't know where I was going with that. I don't know. I think I'm very focused on the channels and like what the output is. That it sometimes catches me off guard. Like an example, I guess, was like over COVID. You know, we went in, I think, with like 2 million subscribers. Was it 2 million in 2020? I want to say it was 2 million subscribers in 2020.
Man, that's crazy.
And then, you know, when we start going out and going to like live events and stuff, like a year and a half later, the channel had grown or doubled in size. So like we come out and like
4 million.
Yeah. And we're like, oh, this is a lot more popular than it was. Like, which was an interesting adjustment, just talking to a lot more people, meeting more people.
After being pent up. Because of COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But as far as a brand goes, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably a fair amount. Like, here's an example. We have like our podcast audience and we have the YouTube audience. And what we found is like there's actually on the podcast side, like not a ton of overlap.
Really?
Like there are people that listen to podcasts who do not watch our videos, which I'm like, that's interesting. So I have to imagine there's also people who have bought multiple pieces of Donut merchandise and don't watch the videos, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's weird.
So that leads me to a question that maybe our audience would like to know as well is, where did the name come from?
I don't exactly know.
Really?
Yeah, so the company was started in 2015, I believe, by, shit. One sec.
You know what? I'm going to start this over because I think this is a good clip out.
Okay.
So I'm sure I'm not the only one that wonders this question. Where did the name Donut come from?
I don't exactly know. Yeah.
Really?
The company was started in 2015 by Ben Conrad, Nick Mosseri, and then the CEO was Matt Levin. Ben had a super extensive background in, like, he would do title sequences for movies. Like, that's his thing. He also, remember those iPod ads with, like, the white, like, the silhouettes?
Yeah.
The white iPod? He did that.
Those were his?
Those are his.
Wow.
He also directed a few of the Gymkhana films.
Really?
Yeah.
So early on.
Yeah. Earlier ones, yeah. So like he did L.A., I know for sure. Maybe San Francisco.
Wow. San Francisco was, in my opinion, the coolest one. I loved that.
I think he did. That might have been.
I mean, just being involved in those is a cool feather in his cap.
Yeah. So
very neat.
He's like, okay, like, oh, this stuff's pretty cool. Like, let's do some automotive. Let's start an automotive brand. Let's get some videos out. And yeah, so that was the beginning of that.
I always got the feeling that donut may be because donuts in cars. I don't know. It's such a very ambiguous name that like.
I kind of like it for that too, because like, you know, you'll be wearing a donut shirt and people are like, oh, like where's the donuts at? And you're like, yeah, it's a car thing, but like I don't know. I like that it's a little ambiguous. Yeah.
No, that's cool. I've always wondered that, and I figure our audience may as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't give you a better answer.
That's okay. I wasn't expecting anything crazy. I just, you know, I always assumed it was because of car donuts.
Yeah.
Where do you see donut media heading in the next 5 years? Oof. More YouTube expansion into TV, maybe live events.
Yeah,
products.
Definitely more live events.
Really? Cool.
Yeah, that's something we really want to do. We had a great finale to our high-low drag racing season last year, where we went out to Tucson Dragway and 4,000 people showed up. They brought out, you know, some people brought their own cars to kind of test and tune.
Really?
That's what we were doing all day. It was a lot of fun. And
back to your roots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was really special. And it was, I mean, the dragway, they're like, that's the most people we've had here in a long time. So it's like, okay, like, let's keep doing this.
Heck yeah.
We have a possible event. When's this coming out?
It'll be up probably next week.
Okay. Yeah. So we're working on another style event for another finale of the current series we're working on. We're not doing high-low. We're doing something different.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
A little tidbit for you guys. A little Easter egg.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. So we're going to try to make something like another event like that happen. We've had a lot of success doing car meets at the Peterson. We had another event earlier this year. You know, we've done it 2 times in a row and it just keeps growing. That's really cool.
They host a great event there.
They do. I love the Peterson so much. It's a great, just really cool place.
I love it, but unfortunately, it's so far away from us.
Yeah.
Like, I drove my FDR X7 up there for the one event I went to. The event was outstanding, but I hurt my back just sitting in the car so long.
Yeah, that's a pretty far drive from here. Do you remember, did you ever watch Chasing Classic Cars?
Yes.
Okay. I met Wayne Carini at the Peterson when I was still in college, like before I was on YouTube or anything like that, and like he was filming a segment for his show there, and I just like absent-mindedly walked up and like talked to him for a little bit. Super nice guy. That was cool.
One thing a lot of our audience doesn't know about me is I'm a huge Wayne Carini fan.
Really?
Wayne doesn't know that. I've never met him. I've seen him. I've stood 5 feet from him, but I've always been too shy to introduce myself to him because I'm just this little guy from YouTube. But I aspire to be like him at some point. I want to be the guy that people look to for Skylines or JDM cars. Like that for me is like the ultimate career move.
The barn find R34.
Man, I want to be the JDM Wayne Carini.
Yeah, that's a cool thing to aspire to. Yeah,
he just seems like such a unique guy, and he has this vast knowledge of the vehicles that he's specifically into, which is something that I really look up to.
Yeah, he was nice. He was. I didn't. That was like 15 years ago now?
Oh my God.
No. It was like 10 years ago. Okay.
Still a long time.
Still a long time ago. So yeah, we want to do more live events. Also, just like for me personally, like just getting better at YouTube is always something that's at the forefront of my mind here. Yep. We're always trying to get better, not just like views wise, although certainly like we had our video on Osaka where Jimmy met up with these was it Conjo? Yeah, sorry, with the Conjo racers. That just popped off. It was so interesting.
That has a cult following.
It's one of my favorite videos we've like ever done.
I'm gonna have to go watch that one.
It's so good, dude.
So for our audience that may not be familiar, Conjo racing is basically freeway racing in Japan, and they have a loop called the C1, where these guys go out at 3-4 in the morning when there's not many people on the road, so they don't hurt anybody, and literally race.
Yeah, it's a great video.
So you guys captured all that live and in person.
Yeah, man. I you have to have Jimmy down here. Vin shouted him out on his episode, and I thought that was really cool. But Jimmy's a really interesting guy, and he could tell you all about that because it was a pretty wild story. But anyway, that video, it dropped, and then like the first day, it like did okay. We were expecting more, to be honest. And then for whatever reason, like 2 days later, it just like
went on a ripper.
Went crazy, yeah. And it was awesome. Like on YouTube, if you have a YouTube channel, they have an app that'll show you like all the analytics going on behind the scenes.
Yes.
Usually our audience, it's like usually 95% American audience, like that's pretty typical. But then on that third day when it was just going nuts, that percentage dropped down to just 26% American. And like it literally like went across the globe.
Global.
It went global. And like people from all over the world were watching it. It was super cool to see that. And now it has almost, I want to say like 8 million, 9 million views.
No
like,
way.
Yeah, it popped off, dude. So, as a YouTuber,
I've failed as a YouTuber. I don't spend much time on YouTube, unfortunately, but this should have been in my For You section.
Yeah. And what's been really cool is like multiple channels have ripped off the thumbnail, and that's how you're like, okay, that one did really well because like it's like down to the coloring of the thumbnail they even copied and all the expressions. But anyway, so you get videos like that, and that it had been a pretty extended drought of having like a big success on YouTube, like views wise. So when that popped off again, like, you're like, I'm addicted to this again. And like, I'm attaching my feelings of self-worth to the view number again.
Yeah. Gotta be careful with that.
You do. And, obviously as a business, you want the videos to do well. Like that is the priority. But at the same time, like you also want to make stuff you're really proud of. And I think this past year especially, I've been really proud of the output we've had. We've had Justin going cross country in a Subaru SVX, going over mountain trails, modifying it with like bumper, like armor, spare tires, a suspension lift, like it's crazy. And then we're doing another road trip.
Wait. This thing's got all that done to it?
Yeah, it only has like 8 inches of ground clearance, and he went like over some crazy trails.
The SVX is one of the coolest, strangest cars. It has like 11 windows or something, 11 pieces of glass.
Yeah. He didn't break any of those, which is good. But check that out.
That is good. But it's interesting that you leaned into the Japan video where they're racing on the freeway. Do you feel like when you guys see a level of a success like that on a certain video, do you lean into that culture? Or do you kind of go around it?
Well, we followed it up with a video about it was like a built by Legends Spoon Civic.
Yep.
They were driving at Fuji.
Yep. I've driven that car.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that didn't like pop off in the same way. But since the beginning with Up to Speed GTR, like all the JDM Legend cars that we ever covered on that show would usually do like way better, not way better, but noticeably better.
Yeah. There's more eyeballs.
Yeah, and our audience just loves JDM. I mean, I'm sure it's the same for you guys.
It's the same here, yeah. It is interesting to hear you say that, though, because one thing we struggle with as a channel is we build a lot of cars, and because we're in California, a lot of them aren't street legal, so we can't put plates on them, we can't take them out. So we build these rad machines, and then they sit here.
Yeah.
This one in particular. This was meant to be my street car, but then, there's no way to get license plates for it. But I guess what I'm getting at is what we've found is that when you showcase activity that is not necessarily illegal, it does really well.
Yeah.
But then when you showcase taking a car like that to the track, the views fall off heavily.
The track stuff is so difficult. We've had a lot of back and forth and challenges, like trying to figure out how to make track driving exciting and sexy on YouTube. I think any channel will probably tell you that.
Yep.
It's just hard. Like, as the enthusiasts we are, like, for people like us, track driving is like the best. It's the only thing you think about.
I want to live at the track.
Yeah, exactly. Like, going to the track is the best day of your month, if you, or your year even.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. But for some reason, it's just hard to get, the general audience just does not like that.
Yeah, it doesn't resonate.
They're just not into it. It's kind of like nerd stuff, I guess.
Well, but the crazy thing is, and I assume you guys see it too, is we build a car. Oh, you should take it to the track.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sick. We'll schedule a track day. We take the car to the track, and then the views are in the toilet.
Right.
So it's like you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It's tough. It's like, how do you? I don't know. Like we care so much about motorsport and we want tracks to survive and all this kind of stuff, but
if the audience isn't supporting video content from a track, then it doesn't really make sense to make it.
Right. So you just kind of just do it in your spare time, I guess. Like that's like I have this 88 EF Civic that I've been working on. Brian and the rest of the Hasport team in Phoenix, they helped me put it together a couple years ago. But like, I still like haven't had the chance to like go out and have a full track day. I've done one session and burned a quart of oil, of course. But
that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
But the boys that you're working with are proper dudes. I mean, this is VTech Academy.
Yeah.
Brian Gillespie's pioneer of the Honda industry.
He's the
Basically,
best.
He's the motor swap king.
Yeah.
At this point, he makes all the motor mounts to do all these. That thing has a bunch of his products in it right there.
Yeah, I bet.
So you've got the right team on your side.
Yeah.
And EF platform, let's be honest.
It's
pretty dang good.
It's the best. Like going back to when I was in high school and like college, is like I did not care about Hondas at all. Like it was everyone in my town that I grew up in, like they're only driving. It's like your grandpa with like a Nova or something like that. We'd have cruise nights and it's all muscle cars, all vintage stuff. I was growing up like reading only Hot Rod magazine.
Atascadero.
Yeah, watching Power Block. I was just all muscle car all the time. That's why I bought that.
That's why you bought a 62.
That's why I bought the Dart.
Yep.
So moving down here and starting to work at Donut, like it changed. I still love my muscle cars, obviously.
Sure.
But now I have an appreciation for is that EK?
It's an EK.
Yeah. EK right here.
EF I think is that was my first car. It was an EF hatch, and then I fell in love with this generation.
Yeah. They're sick. I got to drive the EM1.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's that, but a coupe.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to drive an EM1 for a video. I was like, oh, I get it now. I gotta get one of these at some point. But
yeah.
I mean, it's just getting to experience different car cultures and get to drive a bunch of different cars. Like I've kind of not grown out of the muscle cars, but like now I have like such a deep appreciation for what every brand and every region has to offer. It's been really great.
It's so cool, and I think as a YouTuber, I think it's important to not just be stuck in our ways and sort of open our eyes to other genres, and it definitely helps the channel for sure. Because our audiences aren't just JDM guys or not just muscle car guys.
Yeah, it's a mix of all of them, and like when you can show the JDM guys what's cool about like an E46 and vice versa, like then they're like, oh, like I kind of want to expand my horizons a little bit, which I just love that.
Yeah, that's happened in this building. We've got Evan, who's a big BMW fanatic. Quinn's a big BMW fanatic. I've had a couple BMWs, but we all kind of started in our own realms of car activity, like you.
Yeah.
And we've all melded into what's popular, basically, because of YouTube.
Yeah.
So we've got our hands on BMWs. We've got our hands on trucks.
Yes.
Got our hands on Hondas.
And the problem becomes then it's like, okay, once you try all that different stuff, it's like, okay, which one do I actually choose to dedicate time to and like pursue further? Because I mean, there's just so many different options so many routes you can go.
Yeah.
And that's kind of I don't know.
But YouTube content is one thing. But in our personal lives, we're all car guys at heart. We got into this because we love cars.
Yeah.
And like I have my own personal workshop where I keep my Skylines. That's what I like to do. So I have that time to focus on what I really love.
Yeah.
And in here, I can come in and focus on
just do
what's the project at hand and what does our audience want to see from us. So
that's kind of what I tell people when, like, I have this I have a 52 Chrysler Imperial, this big, like, rusty sedan.
I don't even know what that is.
It's not cool. It's not, I mean, it's cool. It's just not very cool looking. It's pretty ugly. But, like, it's, like, slammed and, like, it looks, I like it. But, like, I bought it back in 2020, and we've done a few videos with it. And then people still ask me, like, where's the Chrysler? I'm like, I just haven't had time to, like, work on this. But it's because we've been working on so many other things for the channel. It takes up a bunch of my time,
Yeah, I think we have a VIP group that's really popular with the real throttle purists. They join our VIP group, and we've got a group chat that we monitor quite closely. And those guys, man, they're all over the place with with what they're into, and it's cool to get to interact with those people and sort of see what your core audience is into. I've never heard of that car, Imperial.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that one up afterwards.
I could show you pictures.
But you have it slammed?
I put like lowering blocks on the back and then like shorter springs on it. So it's like it's got 3 inches of ground clearance basically on the frame rail.
I think 50s. I think like the big lead sleds and stuff. Is it a big car?
It's a big car. It weighs like 5,500 pounds. It's all steel body panel like everywhere. It's really funny because also the paint's like it has a nice patina on it, but like I just like throw wrenches on the fender while I'm working on it, or whatever, not even care about it.
It's neat to have a car that you can do that with.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to being cautious. And yeah, it's neat to have a car with patina that you don't have to really. You can lean on it. Yeah. Belt buckle doesn't matter.
Yeah. Our shop manager, Adam, has been asking me for months, like, dude, when are you going to get this out of the parking lot? And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going to try to do it this weekend, bring it home.
Go drive it.
It runs and drives. It's just like, it has like an open header right now. So I need to get like a exhaust put on it. But otherwise, like it runs and drives pretty well now. So I don't know. It's just been finding the time, dedicating the time, and like carving out time to handle that kind of stuff. I think that's been another part of like working at Donut too, is like figuring out
time management.
Yeah, because in the early days when I was like single or we would spend all day. Those early days when I'm talking about with up to speed and stuff, we'd be at the office like 12 hours a day easily. And not like not always working in those later hours, but just hanging out and like brainstorming. And that just became so normal to me. And then my girlfriend at the time, she was like, dude, like your work-life balance is actually pretty terrible. And I was like, okay, I should start thinking about that. And then that's what I've worked a lot on is work-life balance. We have like such a culture of like hustling and just, go.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes. But it's like, again, it's also intertwined into that like self-identity of the perception of the brand with your own self-identity, like working to separate those two and like you're on the clock and you're doing your YouTube job, and then like what am I doing in the off time, and I'm not complaining at all. I am very, very fortunate to do what I do. It's the best job in the world. Would not trade it for anything. But like making my passion for cars my job has like, now it's like in my free time, it's like, okay, now what do I do? And I've had to like really figure that out.
A lot of times it's not wanting to work on cars.
Right, exactly.
I speak from experience.
Exactly. And that's why my Imperial's been sitting for years now, is because like I just put in a ton of work during the week on, like, great example. We did a video where we overhauled a IROC Z Camaro in a week. And then during that time too, after we're done shooting for the day, I'd be like tinkering on my EF because there's a track day that Saturday. And then by the end of that build though, I was just like, I'm not going to the track, dude. Like
I'm tired.
I'm so tired. I'm dead. Like, not a good idea.
And when you go to the track, you want to be alert and excited.
It's pretty important to be alert. Yeah.
I've dragged my ass to the track too many times like that, where it's, late night, the night before, you get to the track and you're like, man, I really probably should not be trying to race at 10/10 right now.
Around here, what's the track? Where do you go?
We don't have one.
Yeah.
So that's part of the problem with track. One, track content does not do well on our channel, but two, the nearest track is 3 hours from here.
Is that Willow?
Yeah. They're both like kind of equidistant. So they're about 3 hours. And then we also have Chuckwalla, which is...
I've never been there. It's super far away, right?
Great track. Yeah. From here, it's still kind of within that 2.5 hour, 3 hour window. But if you do the math on that, you got to leave at 5 a.m.
Yeah, or the night before.
Well, the night before and stay up there, which... racetracks, they're in the middle of nowhere. So the hotels are either roach motels or not even available.
Yeah.
If it's a big track event, maybe sold out if you don't plan ahead. So it makes for a really long day or weekend regardless because of the distance.
Yeah.
For you guys, it's a little easier. I think you guys are, an hour?
Yeah. It's like hour and a half, 2 hours. It's pretty much. We used to shoot at Willow Springs all the time. We still shoot there the Camaro was probably the last time I was there, though, a couple months ago. But man, the refresh they're doing over there looks incredible. Looks so good.
Man, I've been keeping an eye. I watched a recent podcast. I can't think of the name of the podcast, but James was actually on it, and they showed some sneak peeks of like a flyover or, I don't know, maybe drone footage.
Yeah.
But the go-kart track looks epic.
Yeah, looks sick.
The runoffs, man, some of the runoffs at that track were scary.
Yeah.
Like, you did not want to go off track.
No.
Because you're breaking shit.
Yeah.
You're filling your car with dirt and rocks.
Yeah. On streets, there's that, like, kind of like left kink over the hill after the straight. We were shooting with the Subarus, and we all spun going over that. It was like the rite of passage for that. It was like, okay, you're going to spin at 100 miles an hour going over that crest.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Be
dude.
ready for it.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah, actually, that's why that front bumper's broken right there. Because I went off there and I ripped we had a really nice, beautiful Japanese carbon fiber lip that looked just like that. This is a replica of it in urethane.
Yep.
Because I couldn't afford to buy the carbon one again. But
Yeah.
that portion of the track was really difficult. And then when you went off, getting back on the track, the dirt was dug out so deep that the damage was actually done getting back on the track, not going off.
Yeah.
And actually cracked the upright.
Oh my
suspension upright getting back on the track.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, man, I welcome all of those changes. I'm so happy that the new management or ownership group really doubled down and put a lot of resources into making it nice.
Yeah, people, I think, were rightfully skeptical when the news broke that it sold, that, you know, it turned into a development or something like that.
Yeah, I heard that it was going to become like a thermal, which is, for those of you that aren't familiar, is like a rental, or actually you buy a house at the property, there's a track there, and you kind of have to be a member, so to speak. Yeah. Is that happening or no?
Not to my knowledge. I don't know, but it doesn't sound like it.
What I was going to interject was that I was reading some comments about the track recently, and I saw one of the drifting organizers that used to run drift events there mention that he called to get rates, and the rates had gone up so much that they can't afford to hold an event.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
so that's not a good look for the track. Now, I get they put all this money into it. They got to make it back somehow.
Yeah.
But if you can't have grassroots motorsport events there, you're limiting.
That's a real thing. Yeah.
It's a problem.
For sure.
And maybe that will change. I don't know.
I hope. Yeah.
Me too, because the majority of events that I go to there are drifting events. I mean, I attend grip days there too, but mainly they did a lot of grassroots drifting there on Horse Thief Mile and
the balcony as well.
Balcony.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I guess. Only time will tell. They have their opening event is
it's in a couple weeks.
Is it the 11th or something?
I think
next
so.
month of October.
Yeah, we'll be on the road, unfortunately, so won't be able to attend that. But yeah,
it's also the same day as the Japanese Classic Car Show, which is a complete bummer in Long Beach. So
that is
terrible.
I feel like a lot of car shows they accidentally double book with JCCS. Maybe not accidentally. You know, you have people in the area, and maybe they're like, okay, come trek up here. But yeah.
And unfortunately for Willow Springs, I really don't care how nice the new track is. I'm going to JCCS.
Yeah.
It's like a staple event for me every year. So.
Such a great event. Yeah.
So, man, this has been awesome. I've really enjoyed getting to know you a little more personally, or a lot more personally.
Yeah.
And getting a little bit of insight on the Donut crew and what you guys are up to. But we haven't talked about what's in the future for Donut.
No, I mean, let's see.
Can you give us any tidbits?
Yeah. So I've been mentioning this trip, being on the road and everything. We have a series coming out called The Big Trip. We were actually on the road for 3 weeks last month. Shooting that, we drove from Long Beach out to Kansas.
Oh, that's why you couldn't be here.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Long Beach to Kansas.
Long Beach to Kansas with a bunch of different stops on the way. We're driving some pretty cheap, beat up old cars.
Nice.
So we're going back out in October and then again in November. Originally we were thinking let's shoot it all in one big chunk, but we'd be on the road for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, like that.
Oof.
You know, that'd be 3 weeks was tough. Being like living out of hotels for that long. I'd never done anything like that before for that long.
But at least you weren't like sleeping at truck stops.
No, luckily, yeah. But no, we're really excited about that. So that'll be our big kind of like marquee season or series for the year.
That's cool. I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, me too. I got kind of emotional like when we were shooting it. Because, growing up, loving Top Gear, obviously, and seeing
I was going to say, it's very Top Gear-esque.
Yeah, exactly. And just being like, man, I hope I can do something like that someday. And then, like, having the realization, like, oh, we're doing that right now. Made me kind of, like, reflect on, my whole time
That's
at
so
Donut,
cool.
and it was
To get to
yeah.
realize that
Yeah.
is a big moment.
And I'm really proud of it. We did some pretty sketchy stuff, some pretty fun stuff, and I'm really looking forward to the audience to
Were you
check
guys
that out.
pushing the envelope on purpose, or?
Well, yeah. I think when you're shooting stuff like that, with competition out. There's another thing I want to talk about a little bit, like competition in YouTube. I think is something that I thought about so much, especially in the early days. In high school, like doing high school sports, played a lot of football.
Mm-hmm.
I was not really a competitive person, which made me not a very good player, I think. And
Okay.
then something switched
That
in my
makes
early
sense, yeah.
20s. Was doing a lot of weightlifting. Just
Mhm.
got like a huge chip on my shoulder, and I just carried that with me for so long, and started thinking of like other channel, even throtl as competition on the platform. Because like
I feel that.
it is a competition for people's attention.
We all are competing with one another in the same space for similar audience or same audience
for their time.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if that's like a healthy way of looking at it either.
It's not a healthy way to look at it,
No.
I don't think, but I do also think you need to be aware of what's around you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, none of us want to regurgitate the same thing that someone else is doing.
Right.
We overlap. And I think that's normal.
Mhm.
But to have our own spin on things, obviously we all have our own personalities and whatnot, which makes the channels different, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And likable or unlikable, whatever.
Yeah.
But to see and hear that you guys are pushing the envelope to a Top Gear type level, that is cool.
I'm
I'm excited for you guys.
I'm very excited as well. Obviously, dude, when you like look behind the scenes and read, is his name Richard Porter? Something Port. I think it's Richard Porter. Maybe not Richard. Maybe it is Richard. Anyway, he was like one of the main writers on Top Gear. He has a book about all of that, like working on the show and making the show, and it's super insightful. And then you also remember, like, oh, not only are they have a great team, but also they have the funding of the British Broadcasting
BBC, which is
Corporation.
government funding.
Yeah, so they have like a huge budget.
No lack
And
of
you're-
funding there.
Yeah, you're wondering, like, man, how they do all this stuff? Like, how could we get that? And it's like, oh, because they had, the government was giving them money
Full
to do
crew,
it.
man.
Yeah, and they had, I think in their last special that they made, they had some BTS where they're showing like a caravan of like 40 support vehicles on this
Really?
trip, and I'm just like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, obviously, I assumed
Yeah.
because of BBC backing that they have craft services and a full fleet
yeah.
of follow vehicles
Yeah.
and a crew with many cameras.
Setting up
and-
lights and
Yeah.
cameras, but it knowing that, it makes what people are doing on YouTube right now like that much more impressive, because you watch guys like Seaboys, especially
100%.
Seaboys, and you're like, oh, that's just like a crew of like 10 guys going out and like shooting their road trip,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, that's really impressive. Same thing with Cletus.
You have
like,
to be dialed to
yeah.
pull that off.
Yeah, and they don't have a support crew of 40 support vehicles, at least that I know of.
You've got
very much
a
doubt it.
fourth of the crew doing the work of
Yes.
4 times
Yeah, so it's just,
what you have.
and it's not just in the car space either. It's just like amazing the level of production that people are putting into their videos every week. That is now definitely competing with all the streaming services,
Yeah.
and it's just a really cool space to be in. I love it.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting, and it's neat to sit back and watch what the other channels are doing, and then take your time, put your own spin on things. One thing I noticed by looking into your Instagram was I saw that you recently had the opportunity to sit down with James May,
Yes.
who,
Yeah.
from listening to you speak, you obviously hold the Top Gear team in high regard,
Very
as
high
do
regard. Yeah.
I. I'm curious how that went.
He was the best. That was, I think, last year. He was in town promoting his new gin at the time, and he came on our podcast, The Big Three.
Nice.
And we, exactly what you think he is, like that's who he was in person. It was
So what
really
you
cool.
see on BBC is what you get.
I think so. He's a very authentic guy.
That's rad.
And it was so surreal to walk into the office and see him outside in our parking lot looking at our cars, and I was like, oh my God, it's James May. Like, yeah, that was a huge moment.
I could be off in left field, but didn't they used to do a show where they kind of roasted YouTubers or something?
I think he did that on his channel.
Was that him?
On Drive Tribe, I think they did that.
Okay.
So yeah, they would do that on.
Were you guys ever the brunt of that?
I think they talked about one of our cars. I know they did. I can't remember which one it is. But we got a mention on there. That was another surreal moment. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's cool.
Yeah.
We've never had that, and I can tell you that, like, well, first of all, congratulations, because James May, like, I think I hold him in very high regard.
He's
Richard Hammond, and
yeah.
I met Richard Hammond last year at Silverstone
cool.
at F1, and he, like James, I took the same thing away. He is the same dude.
Yeah.
In person, he was wearing a suit when I met him, which was very odd, but he was the same dude, and I only got to talk to him for seconds.
Yeah.
But what a nice guy.
Yeah. I think I haven't met Richard yet or Jeremy, but I think that's what's that's the reason that show has lasted for so long, and like people still watch episodes of Top Gear from 2005
because they're just normal dudes like you and I.
Yeah, and they don't hide who they are. I think I think there's the moments where they're annoyed with each other on camera. You're like, oh no, it's real. They were pissed at each other for sure. Like, especially like James has so many moments like that when he's just like so fed up with the other two. You could just tell, and you're like, okay, he's not putting that on for the camera. Like, those guys are being dicks right now.
Yeah,
like,
it's genuine.
Yeah, very genuine. Yeah,
and you're right. It probably has a lot
to
do with the success of the show.
Absolutely, and I mean the fact that we're still trying to match what they did just shows how good the show is. You know?
And it may be even ahead of its time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and again, probably only possible with having that much funding at that time. But
exactly,
what a show.
That's cool, man. I mean, look, dude, these are you and I, just two dudes from the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
That have gotten to meet these dudes and get in front of a camera every day and make cool content for YouTube. We should both feel very fortunate.
Every day. Just remind myself how lucky I am.
But also remind yourself how hard you worked to get to this position.
Yeah. My wife reminds me of that sometimes. It's like, we do put ourselves through a lot for this. And, I mean, yeah, it's not the hardest job in the world physically, obviously. It's really not. But mentally, it does take a toll sometimes.
It does. And you mentioned something earlier that I didn't jump in because I wanted to let you finish your thought. But you mentioned the work-life dynamic and how heavily weighted it was towards showing up to Donut every day and putting in the work, and how much time you missed with your family because of that. And it's the same here, I can tell you. The long hours, the long weekends.
Yeah.
We have to remind ourselves that this isn't our life.
Right.
It's part of our life.
Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah, that's a truly great way of putting it. I got married last year, and we've been talking about starting a family at some point.
Yes.
And I don't want to be like selfish towards any children we have, where it's like, okay, if we're starting a family, like, we're putting it off a little bit, just because.
I think you should.
Yeah, we want to, also in our personal lives, we want to be able to like travel and like do other things without worrying about, okay, what are we going to do with the baby or whatever.
Yep.
But also work is part of that decision, and I want to be there, like, in 100% capacity. Do you have kids?
I don't.
Okay.
And I don't know that I ever will.
Gotcha.
I am in my late 40s at this point. My girl and I have been together for 20 plus years. And we just haven't, like you, we were very focused on traveling the world, living our lives to the fullest that we can possibly do. And a child was not part of the equation, because if we had that child, then you have to change everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we never got to a point where we were willing to sacrifice what we wanted to see and what we wanted to do.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Some people might say that's selfish or whatever. Or like, I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers recently, had a kid, and he's like, I just feel selfish that we didn't do it sooner. It's like, you're saying that, but like, you're not being selfish, because that child didn't exist at that time. You were living your life. Like, you are also a person.
Yeah, you have to take
you
priority
also
at
have
some point as well.
So
I think when, like the people say, like, when it happens, and you make yourself ready for it. I think a lot of people have children by accident, and I'm so scared. But then when the baby comes, it's like, I was made for this shit.
Yeah,
you just figure it out.
Yeah,
right?
It's a case by case basis. With every person's different.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to a point now where I don't think that it will happen, and I'm okay with that.
I think that's fine, dude.
Yeah.
More time to work on this stuff. you
Yeah,
know?
and again, that sounds selfish. But yeah, who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Well, dude, let's. I want to do something fun. This is the first time we're gonna try this.
Okay.
I want to do like a little rapid fire question session with you. I've prepared 10 rapid fires.
Let's do it.
I don't want you to really put much thought into it. Just bang, give me an answer.
Okay.
Dream 3-car garage. Go.
4th gen Viper ACR. Second gen Ford Lightning
Okay.
truck.
Right on.
And then, oh man, for some reason Lincoln Continental is coming up, like
wow.
the old school one. With
Domestic car garage.
I guess so. Yeah. Wow. Only domestic. Yeah. Damn.
No, the Lincoln Continental was pretty sick, though.
Yeah. That's what popped in my head. Yeah.
That's a good mix of cars that I would actually pick for you. Because just from what I've learned in this conversation.
I love that second gen Lightning, so I will have one someday.
Same.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a bucket list vehicle for me, but I have to find one in white.
Yeah. Oh, white.
And there is one running around here that was brought up from Mexico that is in pristine condition. I've been trying to talk the guy out of it, and he will not let it go. Okay, rapid fire. So, most underrated car of all time.
Oh man. This is underappreciated, underrated. Mazda CX-5 is my guess.
Dang. Okay.
I love those cars, man. I don't know why that's the first thing that came in my head. I don't think they get they're flowers. They're great. Mazda took that fun energy of the rest of their cars, their sports cars like the Miata and stuff, and they said, let's make a crossover that's fun to drive. I think they're fun to drive.
Damn.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed
I know.
that.
I don't know why.
All right.
I'm trying not to think about it too much.
All right. Most overrated car of all time.
Ooh.
Overrated.
Ooh. Man. Overrated. I'm going to say, that's stupid. First thing that came to my mind, Tesla Model S, in terms of like, it was like the status car.
Dude.
I think I've driven one once. I'll change it to Model 3.
Okay.
Model 3. An accessible EV for the masses has yet to be available for under $35,000. Terrible interiors.
Everyone that owns one's underwater.
Unless they make you, if a few panels come loose inside, you're gonna get weird like vibrational sounds that make you feel sick when you're driving it. That's my experience. Yeah.
Great answer. Yeah. Again, another one I wouldn't have chosen for you to choose. Best driving song when you're alone in a car.
I Ran by Flock of Seagulls.
Good one. What's the worst car you've ever driven?
Yugo. Yeah.
You've driven one of those?
Yeah, it was terrifying.
I'm jealous. If you could daily a race car with no rules, which one?
Ooh, daily race car. Okay. Probably like a sports car, like a GT3 car. A GT3 911. Yeah. Not like the street version, but like
the actual race car.
The actual one, yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Good choice. Car mod you secretly love, but people roast.
Underglow.
Dang, same answer. Boom. Car mod you absolutely hate.
Okay. The rear window louvers that people put on like Camaros and stuff. For some reason, they all like look like shit. They look terrible.
It's gotten worse because now you can buy them for Teslas, and like Amazon has ruined it.
Dude, the ones you see
side louvers.
Yeah, the side louvers on Teslas. That's a hilarious. Yeah.
I never really thought about that till right now, but louvers horrible. Favorite car, movie, or TV show?
Man, I would love to be so pretentious and say Vanishing Point, but that's a weird. Have you watched that recently?
I haven't.
Oh my god, it's a strange.
I'm
movie.
going to now.
It's there's like a part he like goes to like this ranch where this naked girl rides up on like a motorcycle and stuff, and you're like, I thought this was about Challengers.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a 70s art house film. It's very strange. But let's see.
Favorite car, movie, or TV show?
Car, movie, or TV show?
Car, TV show.
Car, TV show.
Obviously.
I mean, car, TV show, Top Gear, obviously.
Yes.
Car, movie, though. I guess the first Fast and Furious, I guess.
Okay. It's original.
Yeah. Really original.
No. I mean, like the original one.
The original one. Yeah. I think that first one's a lot of fun. And
Bro, that movie changed the course of my life as a car guy. So I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It is like an easy answer, but it's also probably the correct answer.
I'm gonna try to think of like a different answer maybe in the back of my head.
Well, there's like Cannonball Run. And there's a lot of car movies out there.
Yeah.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
That one's pretty good.
But this is rapid fire. So that's what came to your mind.
That's what came to my mind.
There you go. And if you weren't in car media, what career would you be chasing?
That's a great question.
Coming from two guys who had no idea what they wanted to do in college.
Right, exactly.
Is there something else in the meantime that's like caught your eye? Like, ooh, that sounds like fun.
Man. Well, before I was on YouTube, I spent a summer working at my buddy's hot rod shop, just helping him put some cars together.
Nolan, those are cars.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Yeah. But that's a great question because like I asked myself that too. It's like, okay, what else is out there? I don't know. This
so
is
safe to say no fallback plan for Nolan Sykes.
No plan B right
Don't
now.
utter nothing.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, like that's where I'm at right now. Yeah,
you know what, dude? That's totally okay because you know what that means? It means you're putting your heart and soul into something that you really care about.
I really am, man. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I also love music, but I don't know if I would want to make music my job either because then they're like we talked about where you make your hobby your job. I don't want to also do that for something else I love.
When you say music, though, and this is supposed to be rapid fire, we should probably be done with this by now, but I want to ask you this question. Would you find yourself on the playing music side of it or the sound side of it?
If I was doing it as a job, probably in the like production side of it. I would love to just get into a studio again and like refamiliarize myself with that.
Do you play any instruments?
I've been I've been chipping away at guitar since
I
was like 13.
Okay.
But I'm not, dude. I saw Adam LZ has like a guitar
It's
page.
the first thing that came to mind when you say guitar.
Dude, he's so
LZ
good.
Guitar.
He's so good. I was like,
and then
I
saw a clip that he posted of him and Chelsea
and
Denofa,
yeah,
ex-pro drifter, just mashing out on the drums and guitar.
Like, that's sick as hell.
Just riffing. I'm like, yo, you guys are good.
Yeah.
This isn't even fair, man.
I can't play like that, but I have been like I said, like I've been playing since I was like playing in quotations, like messing around with guitar since I was 13.
Yep.
And because I'm one of those people where it's like I'll pick up a hobby and then like after 2 months I'll stop doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
Very annoying. So like within the last year I've been like, okay, I'm gonna like actually sit down and try to learn the mechanics of like guitar. You love guitar. You wouldn't just like be into cars and not know how an engine works or why gasoline does what it does. Like I bought like some music theory books and I'm like trying to teach myself that and learn about that and like
so how does a guitar work?
Yeah, like how does it work?
So then you can understand how to play
exactly.
it.
Like there's over the years you learn a bunch of riffs and stuff like that, but like you don't know why. I want to know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of been my thing right now. After we went to Ensenada, the whole reason I kind of fell in love with guitars, we went to Ensenada, did the Nora 500 in our Ranger last year, and I was like, okay, if we finish, I'm gonna buy a Mexican Strat. So like
really?
Yeah, because they have a factory in Ensenada.
So you got one?
I didn't buy one in Ensenada, unfortunately. Okay. We had to leave. But when I got home, I went to Guitar Center and bought a Telecaster, a Mexican Strat, or not a Strat, Telecaster. So and I was like, okay, that's like a cool little like piece of not memorabilia, but I don't know, just reminds me of
something to have. Yeah.
Yeah, and ever since then I've been like getting into that. So I wouldn't want to like make that my job, but maybe like I don't know. If I had
do
to.
something in music.
Yeah, it's really fun to like mic a drum set and like figure out how to best way to like mic a guitar amp. There's different techniques and like they get different sounds and
That's
stuff.
deep.
Yeah, it's cool.
I had no idea. I mean, I see them when I go to a concert. I see all the microphones around the drum set and whatnot, but I never really put much thought to it.
Oh, live sound would be cool too. I have a buddy who does that.
That's completely different.
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, probably. Like depending on the venue. Anyway.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, this has been rad. I have thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you on camera.
It's been really fun. Yeah. Should we get lunch after this?
we are absolutely going to get lunch.
Right.
I'm taking you to get San Diego tacos.
Hell yeah.
Which is a must when you come down here. So
hell yeah.
You drove 2 hours to come give our audience your time. It's the least I could do is to take you out for some good tacos.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys for having me here. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, man. And if you ever need a podcast guest, you let me
Sure.
know. I'll make the drive
Absolutely.
up and come see you guys.
Heck yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Thank you again, Nolan, man. Congratulations and good luck with everything in the future.
Thank you, Mickey.